Hello, my name is Felipe Vilella. I'm Bachelor in Biology and Bachelor in Biochemistry in the University of Navarra. I did my postdoctoral, my PhD in University of Lleida in molecular biology. My first postdoctoral position in London in 5 years in Clinical Science Center in the MRC. My second postdoctoral in Valencia in Centro de Investigaciones Príncipe Felipe. And I changed to EUEB, to reproductive medicine, a few years ago when I entered to Incliva, and I am a member of a reproductive medicine group here in Incliva, and I am a Miguel Servet position now. My investigation is focused in reproductive medicine, specifically in the cross-communication between the mother and the embryo. We are analyzing the molecules that are secreted by the endometrium to the endometrial fluid and are internalized by the embryo. These molecules, we detected that there are microRNAs that are internalized, and these microRNAs specifically bind to specific mRNAs that can produce some specific modifications in the transcriptome of the embryo and also in the epigenome of the embryo. We are focusing that because this is the beginning of the transmission of the disease from the mother to the embryo. Okay. Science actually is my life. I started to become a scientist because I'm not coming from a specific family of scientists, but I started to think in science when I was really young, because when I was born I had a disease, specifically an hepatitis B, and my mother always told me that there was, during my life, that a specific clinician that was really clever and really good scientist discovered which was my disease because the other clinicians failed, and they saved my life. And then after listening that all of my life, I decided that my vocation is study the disease and study science just to improve and to be as clever as this clinician. And then during the years I started studying biology and biochemistry, focusing all of my life in molecular biology, trying to understand the beginning of the adult disease in the pre-implantation moment. Well, we are actually in the beginning of my investigation. We are the first group in the world that we discovered the cross-communication between the mother and the embryo. There was firstly Professor Barker that formulated the hypothesis that there exists a communication between the mother and the embryo, but nobody demonstrated. We demonstrated that using microRNAs and the transmission of some specific microRNAs in the pre-implantation moment. And actually, for me, the future is looking at trying to understand which is the mechanism to understand this communication, this transmission of the microRNAs, and which is the final producing of these microRNAs on the embryo, and actually focusing in the transmission of a specific disease like obesity and diabetes type 2, which are the microRNAs that can be secreted from the mothers that are obese or have diabetes type 2 to the embryo, and how these microRNAs can modify the transcriptome of the epigenome of the embryo. That in the future, if we understand this molecular basis of that, we will understand the possibility of the change this or modify or at least blocking this transmission, stopping the transmission, the disease in the very early moment.